to women that don't have their fathers in their life, that's kind of difficult, but I'm going to try and touch on it. And I'm going to say that the only thing I can really say is tune into yourself. Like, and what I mean by that is that it doesn't matter if you're shown or you're not shown. If you take time and tune into self, the answers are there. Don't allow society, or don't follow society. Don't follow like the music, you know, the just everything that's going on in society. Don't follow it. Like everything that's popping, whether it's Cardi B's, the Nicki Minaj's, the Beyonce's, the music, the this, the that. Don't follow it. Because you have to understand that, like, everywhere that you can see, and what I mean by everywhere you can see, I'm going to say it like this, is that me as a positive energy, a positive person, a positive trying to do good in the world, they're not going to shine the light on me so you can see me. They're going to kind of turn the light off so you can't see me. So you have to understand, everything that you're able to see is no good for you, because they're putting the light on it so you can see it. Think about it. Everything that's good for you, you got to search for. You're not going to find things that are good for you just like how you're going to find Nicki Minaj's music or Beyonce's music, or like the doctors will tell you that milk is good for you, eggs are good for you, it's protein, but really and truly it's mucus. So you can't follow society, you can't follow where the light is shining. You have to follow literally the darkness. This is why it's funny, because you think that everybody's like search for the light, but if you search for the light, you're gonna find the lie. And everybody's like stay away from the darkness, but if you go into the darkness, you're gonna find yourself. So you see how it's opposite. The light makes you feel comfortable because you can see, but you gotta understand, the darkness is where you're gonna find the true self, because they're not putting no light in the darkness because they want you to be afraid. And that's another thing. Think about it. That's another thing. They keep us in fear. Everything that's good for us, they keep us in fear. Like, just deep it, what I'm saying. So to you, Raven, yeah, you just asked me a question about, for women that haven't got their male role models around them, or didn't grow up with male role models, I'm going to say that to you. Follow the darkness. But not to say follow the darkness, but the truth ain't in the light. It's in darkness. Because they're not shining no light in the darkness so you can see. Everything that you can see is a lie. Like, how can one enjoy killing themselves? And this is the society that we now live in. We're living in a sick society where people can't get rid of things that they weren't born with. Like, you weren't born smoking, so why do you feel that you need it? Like, you weren't born drinking alcohol. Why do you think that you need it? You weren't even born, like, obviously we need food, but sometimes I get to a point where I be eating certain food and I be like, there's something wrong with the food, man. It's like I don't even enjoy eating. Obviously, I gotta eat, but sometimes it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't even enjoy eating because the food's not even natural. This is why I stopped eating meat. This is why I stopped eating, thank you, Sweet Pea. This is why I stopped eating meat. This is why I stopped eating certain things, because, yeah, man, I just got to a point in my awakening, like, you gotta question everything. Reason why I stopped drinking alcohol, stopped smoking, the girls, and like having certain energies around you, because there's a story that happened not too long ago, yeah, and I'm gonna talk about that when I get to the bottom, because it's kind of long. Honestly, sending you love and light, and honestly, do you believe you can get back to your peace? Now, do you know what it is, Raven? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm already in my peace. but there's certain levels to it. And not to say I'm not at peace, but I'm not, it's hard to explain what I mean. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I am at peace, but I've been at a certain level where, yeah, it's like nothing could get to me. But that's because I was selfish and I was solo and I was just by myself and I was just doing my thing and I wasn't letting people get into my circle. And remember, you could have one person in your circle and that the devil will help that one person to damage you. Because you have to understand this, yeah? If the one person that you let in your circle is not aware of who you are and what you're trying to achieve in the world, the devil can get inside that person that's not aware of what's really going on. Because remember, when people do things, they're not aware fully of what they're doing. Like, there's a bigger picture, there's a grand scheme of things that's happening. So this is why you gotta choose the right woman. This is why I spoke the other day saying that you need a woman with a level head. Because demons cannot override people that are aware. Or they can, but for a short space of time. Because then you feel like, well, I'm not feeling myself. And then you come back to yourself. But if you're not aware of who you are in the first place, how are you going to know that something's overrid you? This is why you need people that are, especially when you're someone like me, like you really need to be on point and have the right people in your circle, because the devil's shown himself to me recently through people that was in my circle. And I almost feel like I have to separate myself from those people, or I got to tell those people, you need to change, blah, 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 or I just need to leave. Because it's damaging. It's very damaging. Quitting junk food and energy drinks, I lost 6 stone in 5 months. That's good, my bro. That's actually very good. But it's not even very good. It's just natural. That's what happens when you revert back to being natural. You become natural. But it is a good thing though, because not everybody can do that. But it's actually just natural. You know what I mean? It's like me reaching a high vibration and everybody's like, whoa man, this guy's he's spitting this knowledge, and where I'm at is normal. It should be normal for us to just be on a high vibration. It shouldn't be like, but because we're such on a low vibration, it becomes abnormal for someone to be on a high vibration. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I send your videos to my sons and they love it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Hope so, bro. Grand rising to you, Debsy. Hope you're well. What's she saying? Hope you're well. Come across your live a few times this week. Oh, that's beautiful. Hope you enjoy it. Just throw them away and don't buy any more. After 3-4 days, that urge to smoke will disappear. You're right, but that's not really going to be helpful to someone that's trying to stop smoking. Like, it's not that easy, you know. And I would say to anybody, the first thing you should do to stop smoking is cut down. If you smoke 10 a day, smoke 8 a day. If you smoke 8 a day, smoke 6 a day. If you smoke 6 a day, smoke 2 a day. And then try and get yourself to 1 a day. And when you get yourself to 1 a day, what you should do is smoke it at a particular time. So you're programming your mind. And what you do, this is what I done. I went down to like, because I'm not smoking cigarettes. I'm smoking, do you know what I'm saying? I did smoke cigarettes, but it was more the other one, what I smoked. So what I would do is I would smoke. I cut down and I got to like 1 a day. And when I got to 1 a day, I smoked it at night, just before I was about to go bed, or when I'm about to meditate and have like, you get to the ending of your day and you just want to unwind. So I done it when I was unwinding at night. So what happened and what that done for me when I got to the 1 a day is that because I only smoked it at night, it was easy to get through the day because I programmed my mind that I don't smoke during the day. So during the day, it was nothing to not smoke. But when nighttime came, obviously I want to smoke my one little, not one little, my one big thing, you get me? But I would smoke my big thing. And then what happened, one day I was walking down the road and something whispered in my ear and said to me, what are you willing to sacrifice? I heard it in my ear. It was so weird. What are you willing to sacrifice? Like an angel. I don't know what it was, but it was in my ear. And from that day, I said to myself, I'm not smoking. So what I'm trying to get at is when I got home that same day, because I was going shop when I heard the whisper, and I got home and I didn't smoke the one at night. But that night was very hard because I had programmed myself to only smoke at night. So when the during the day came, it was simple. But when the night came, it was like, yo, I want to smoke. So make it easier for yourself in a way that it can be easy for yourself. Because you're not me. You might not be able to do it like that. But I'm going to say to you, if you can cut down, yeah, and kind of do what I done, it's going to help you, trust me. Keep doing what you're doing. You are touching so many people you don't understand. You're right, you know, I'm just going to say 8 Simeri, however you say your name. You're very right. And I'm going to say this here is that when you're doing what I do, you're actually not aware of how much people you touch. You just will never know. Because some people will never tell you. Some people, you'll be touching them, you'll be changing their life, but they will never tell you. So you're very right. I believe that I am changing a lot of people because I'm aware that people do come to me and tell me when it's my helpline, my sessions, even on my live stream, even in my life. Because I am this person in my real life. Do you know what I'm saying? So people do, but you will never know. When you're this person, you will never know how you really affect people. You just won't know. What inspired you to meditate and become spiritual? To be honest, King Adrian, yeah, answer your question quickly. Thank you for the hand heart. To answer your question, I just think it was my journey. I just think it was my path. I don't think it's like something I woke up and said I'm going to be spiritual. I just think it was more my life. That if you be more specific and ask me a specific question, I could give you a more specific answer, but I can't really think what inspired me to meditate. Or to meditate, I would say one of my exes used to meditate and she used to play Reiki music. And when she used to play, I was being, I'll turn this off, man. This is some Egypt. Like, you know, because I'm on that hood smoking weed, doing my thing, whatever. So I was like, this is some Egypt thing. Like, turn this off, man. And then I remembered one time I was sitting down. I think we must have had an argument or some sort of, you know, where my energy went right. And I remember I was sitting down in her room and I was just taking it in. And from there, it kind of, I don't know. So I can say my ex kind of, she was the first one that kind of, but I noticed something about all the people that's kind of showed me things is that some people do things in the, like, I take things to the extreme. They just done it just to kind of like, you know, like, for example, my brethren gave me my, is it here? I think it's up here, is it? Yeah, it is. One of my friends gave me my first crystal, which was a black onyx. It's not this one, but I replaced it because I lost it. My black onyx, my brethren gave me this and said, you should work with this. And at that time, I didn't even know what black onyx was. But he gave me a black onyx. My ex showed me about the Reiki and all of that. And I went extreme. I started meditating, had my first astral projection, and that was crazy. And I'm going to give a quick message to everybody and say this is that the experiences, without going into the experiences, maybe one day I will have a live where I talk about the actual experience, like what happened. But I'm going to say this is that the experience that I've had through astral projection, I can tell you that there's definitely an afterlife, 100%. There's definitely something else, 100%. And I can tell you that from my heart. And I will say this though, because this might sound a bit mad here, but we ain't all human and we ain't all got souls. Not everybody's got a soul. So those without souls won't see what I'm talking about. Like, because I think death, the reason why funerals and death and people grieve and people mourn is because of people do actually die. They don't, if you ain't got a soul, you die. Think about it. It's the soul that is eternal. Why do you think that there's cloning? Why do you think that in certain industries people don't want to get old? Why do you think vampires bite blood to keep the form of their body? Where do you think those kind of concepts come from? It's because vampires don't have a soul. Certain entities don't have souls. So when they die, they die. That's why there's cloning, because people want to stay alive forever. That's why the vampire concept, biting the blood from a pure person to keep the form. Ship-shifting, reptilians. This is where funerals actually come from. But we've taken the concept from their concept and thinking that we die. So when we die, we have a funeral, we mourn, we cry, we grieve. Not realizing that if you've got a soul, you don't die. And just deep that though, what I said about the vampire. That's a perfect explanation. Vampires in movies, it's like they don't die until they die. Do you know what I mean? Like the sun burns them because that's the natural source. They live underground. They go into the coffin to sleep because they need darkness. All of these you could say mythological, or these werewolf and these creatures, they're actually representing, if you look at it properly, like the vampire hates garlic and certain things, and like when you deep it, it's a lot of symbols to tell you that it's actually like what I just said. If you're listening to me, then you already know. I don't even have to say no more, you know what I'm saying? So first time meeting like your energy, that's power. Thank you, brother FK. I need to get on this meditation thing. Maybe I would find balance and quit smoking for good. I don't know. Do you know what, my brother? I'll say this to you, yeah, is in a certain way, not fully. It's like smoking, and the reason why you can't give up is probably because you're still in the same circle of friends. Yeah? You're in the same full sense of self. And I'm not saying you're false, but the ego. Because what happened to me, and I'm not saying I'm any higher or better, because we're all the same. But what happened to me, my brothers, when I started meditating, that made me quit alcohol, because I wanted to meditate anytime I wanted to. Because when you're drunk or you're a bit tipsy, you can't meditate. So my point being is that meditating made me stop drinking alcohol. Meditating made me see the truth of life and how it was and how things should be. And also, meditating pulled me back and made me look within myself more. Which means, because I was looking into myself more, the friends that I used to smoke with, I don't smoke no more. So why am I going to be around them so much? The friends that I used to drink with, thank you, Sweet Pea. Blessings, my brother. The friends that I used to drink with, I don't drink no more, so why am I going to be around them? And I'm going to be real, there was a few things that I had to get rid of. And smoking was a good one. And I'll tell you why smoking was a good one. Because I used to do my thing. And when I say I used to do my thing, you know what I'm talking about. Man was out here, like, you know what I mean? So if I stop smoking and then I stop doing my thing, that means that if I stop doing my thing but I still smoke, I still have to interact with those to get my smoke. So because I stopped smoking, I can just basically cut myself away from every person that I used to interact with. And that's what people don't understand, is that if you're still your old self, you're still mixing with the old self, meaning the old people. So you change your habits. Like, for example, I stopped eating meat as well, which means that if we go to a restaurant, we gotta go to a different restaurant. We can't go to the same restaurant because I don't eat meat no more. Do you get what I mean? So when you change your ways, you change everything. I'm gonna say this, yeah. I don't really go into people's live streams, But when I do go into someone's live stream, when I write something, I want to be heard. Like, when I write something in somebody, I don't really go into people's lives, but I'm just saying in general. When I go into someone's live stream and I write a comment, I want to be heard. Otherwise, I wouldn't write the comment. So to me, I just think it's a beautiful thing for you to write and for me to acknowledge as many people as I can. Because everybody wants to be heard. Think about it. This live ain't just about me, it's about you. Because without you, there is no me. Why would I be here with no people in my life talking? But people don't realize that. And this is what I'm trying to say, is that people don't realize their power. Like, you can, it's going to be you that makes me what I become. However you look at it, it's you that's going to make me what I become. If I'm selling a product, you're going to buy it to make me become what I'm trying to be. If I'm got a helpline and you form a helpline, you're going to donate and help me to become what I'm going to be. Like, if I say you want to have 2 sessions per week and I say it's that per month or whatever, you're paying to make me become what I'm going to become. So at the end of the day, as human beings, as whether you're the seller, you're the buyer, you're the product, you're the, we have all the power. Because if nobody watches my live, why am I coming live? If nobody phones my helpline, my business goes downhill. If nobody, my sessions. So we have to understand that everybody that is on top right now is because of you and me. Beyonce is on top because of you and me. Cardi B is on top because of you and me. Not me, I don't buy her music, but you get the gist. Nicki Minaj is on top because of you and me. Like, all the top programs like Power, like Top Boys, they're on top because of you and me. But what you have to understand, and let me show you something real quick, and I'm going to continue scrolling down here, is what they do, they can trick you though. Because they can say Beyonce sold 10 million in her first week. These times she sold 500,000. But that's the manipulation to then, wow, she sold 10 million in her first week. Everybody's going to now go out and buy it, thinking, because they're being manipulated. So they're manipulating you into making them powerful, as well as you being manipulated to just make them powerful. Because you got to deep it, yeah? How do you know how much Beyonce sold the first week? You don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's just like COVID. Like, they can say, 20 million people died, but realistically, it was only like 10,000. But there's the manipulation tactics to make us believe. And once we believe, if you understand the power of your belief is like, it makes things reality. If I tell you, like, for example, tomorrow there's going to be something hitting the earth, everybody's going to be so scared, yeah, to where I could put so many new laws into place just by you being afraid, and then nothing hits the world, but the laws are still in place. This is what's happening with our fear, with our attention. It's giving them power. This TikTok is like different friends. Like, what kind of friends you want to listen to. Like, obviously, not every day you want to be enlightened. I kind of get it to a certain level. Like, some days you might not want to, this knowledge is not for me today. But for me, it's always for me today, because I'm not trying to fall asleep. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's how it does go. Like, you go to a cinema, you want to watch a horror movie today. Tomorrow it's a love movie. So I get it. This is why there's different friends, there's different frequencies to tune in. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But when you now deep it, someone said this and I was listening to it, and I was like, yo, that's kind of true. And what he said here is that, thank you, Anton. What he said that is, like, TikTok and YouTube, it's like the casino. You see, when you scroll up, it's like you're you know, when you go like that for the thing and it spins around. So every time you go down, you get like a dopamine hit. You get different hits depending on what you're watching. Like, you might scroll down, see a sexy lady, you get a kind of different kind of dopamine hit. Or you scroll down, like, I mean, not scroll down, like, you know, when the machine where you kind of pulling it down and you're trying to get 7 or the bells all together. It's like, this is what it's become. That's why we're so addicted to just scrolling on the internet, because every different image that we scroll down and see is giving us a different hit, a different thought in our mind, a different think about it. It's deep. And this is what I'm saying, is that the internet's becoming like a casino. Do you know what I'm saying? But make sure you scroll. Exactly. Make sure you scroll on the right pages that's giving you the right things. And sometimes, you know, if you come in my live and there might be something on each and everyone's minds, and it's not always that we have to speak about what I want to talk about, because sometimes it might even be better if I talk about what you want to talk about, because then that means that it's not always going to be knowledge. It could be love, it could be horror, it could be UFOs, it could be spirit, it could be, do you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to switch it up so we can stay tuned and stay awake, stay woke, you know? But yeah, man. But yeah, like I was saying, because I lost myself, I was talking about silence. And I'm saying, within the silence, my people, and not even just within the silence, it's like going against the matrix. Everything the matrix is doing, we have to like do the opposite. Do you know what I'm saying? We have to do the opposite. And what I mean by do the opposite, because not everything you have to do the opposite to, but you have to yeah, because I say this, and I say this in my life, my real life, I say this on live, and it's like, everybody's smoking the same weed, everybody's drinking the same alcohol, everybody's listening to the same music, everybody's watching the same movies, everybody's getting caught up in the cost of living, the COVID, the war, the news, the things that's been projecting. Everything I'm explaining is a frequency. I've just explained a frequency. And this is what they're pumping into our airwaves. So we're just all becoming the same. On the phone, scrolling, posting a picture, trying to get as much likes as you can get. The likes are like a drug, dopamine hit. Like, you know, certain girls are just going against integrity and doing some mad stuff for likes. And when you actually deep it, if you watch it, like, this is another one that I'ma say, and if you're this person, I'm sorry, but I'ma say it, innit, yeah? Is that, I don't know if you notice, yeah? There's certain women, I'm not even gonna go into tonight, but there's certain women that look all the same. These women are looking all the same, because they're getting all of the same jobs done, their lips done, the nose done, the arse done, the this done. It's like, have you noticed that, anybody though? That there's a certain, thank you Mona, blessings and love to you my queen. Do you notice that though? It's like they're all starting to look the same. Like the lips, it's the lips, you know, the Donald Duck lips. The Donald Duck lips. Women are starting to look all the same. And that's because of what I'm trying to say to you, is that they're pumping a certain frequency to where everybody is becoming the same. And what I mean is, like, everybody's even got the same insecurities. Because if you're projecting a frequency of women looking perfect, then that means every woman that is not strong enough in their own skin is gonna catch the same insecurities as every other woman. The reason why all the women are looking like what I'm saying, because they're feeling all the same. Think about what I'm saying though, like, why is so many women looking the same? Because it's the same frequency that's hitting their brain. But that's just one of many things though. You know, we could talk about obesity, the food, because remember, this is the maddest thing about it, yeah, is that because there's so many different things happening at one time, you can't keep eye on everything. So for example, like, you got what I just said, you got the obesity, then you've got just like I completely forgot what I was saying, the obesity, then you've got the women that's insecure with a certain lips and certain facial features, then you've got the you could say like the cigarettes, so then it's making people get cancer, and then you've got like the COVID, and it's, you know, in that regards, there's so, and then the war, and then you've got the gun crime, the knife crime, there's so many different things happening, because you have to remember, where does the gun crime come from? The drugs. It's another problem. Where does the influence for them to commit the crimes come from? The music. So can you not see how there's so many different problems and so many different things making the thing happen, but there's so much happening at one time? Then you've got the submarine, then you've got Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, then you've got and this is kind of silly, but I'm going to say it, then you've got like Jamie Foxx in hospital, then you've got Cat Williams get by the Illuminati, then DMX dying, then Tupac supposedly got killed, fake death, Biggie, same thing. Like, there's so much things happening that we can't keep focused on what's happening. And that's why I'm saying to you about the silence. The silence makes you not even hear all of that. Like, you won't even hear it. You'll just be in your bubble, in your meditation on LiveStream, talking about exactly what I'm talking about right now. Those things won't affect us because we're not tuning into the frequency. If you told me, tell me one little Uzi Vert song, I couldn't tell you. The only thing I could say is sing it for you. I could sing it for you, but because obviously I can't help the fact that my ears hears it, but I am not tuning into the frequency of nonsense. And that's what I'm saying to you, my people. You know, I'm not perfect, but I try, you know, to be perfect in ways that I try, you know. But that's all I'm trying to say, my people, is that the only way to see what I'm talking about, yeah, is to understand that silence is for you to be in. And for you to just sit down and just say to myself, nothing. There's not even nothing to say. It's just to sit down for 5 minutes and probably say, actually, who am I? What is my purpose?